Welcome to 1848, when Europe was ablaze with revolutions. This was a pivotal year in Czech history with uprising and the Czech national revival. In this video, we're going to talk about the start of Czech nationalism. But first, what even is nationalism? Nationalism is the identification with your own nation and its interest, while excluding other nations. For example, these are some leaders that you may know that started some extreme nationalism. How does nationalism affect people like you and me? Do you watch the Olympics or the X Games? If you watch the 2024 Olympics, will you cheer for the team from your country?
That's nationalism.
Now, let's get into the topic of Czech nationalism. Where did it start?
Students in Prague during 1848 got tired of the Austro-Hungarian rule, so, on June 11th, posters printed in red ink were placed across the city, demanding that the military surrender 2,000 rifles, 80,000 live cartridges, and an entire battery of the artillery to the Academic Legion. They also called for the removal of batteries already stationed in various parts of the city. When Windischgratz rejected most of these demands, the students established makeshift ministries of war in university lecture halls. Homemade bullets were distributed to students in readiness for a confrontation with the military. After the students got tired of waiting, students and citizens decided to start a mass in Wenceslas Square, which eventually led to the student uprising. After being treated like second-class citizens by the Austrian-Hungarian Empire for so long, all the Czech people wanted was freedom and their rights back. The uprising started after the mass in Wenceslas Square started marching around the city, and the army tried to stop them. Students didn't like this, of course, and rebelled by starting the uprising. The uprising lasted from 11th to 17th of 1848, and the students might have lost the battle, but not necessarily the war. The uprising was heard all around in Czech. Even people in the countryside knew about it. This eventually led to many Czech people being inspired to become their own nation. The students that thought to have started the uprising were studying at Charles University. Students also fought to have courses in Czech instead of German. Who was a key figure? František Palacký contributed greatly to Czech being seen as a separate nation, and to see Czech people's culture as their own. František Palacký was a part of the liberal representatives of Czech during 1848 when they wanted to be seen as their own nation. František negotiated with Austrian-Hungarian officials and helped with the long-term unification of Czech.
He also opened a branch in the National Museum of Czech dedicated to Czech culture and literature. This helped the Czech national revival to keep continuing on.
After many years of being under other countries' rule, Czech's culture has changed a lot. From countries like Germany and Austria, Czech has adopted many foods like schnitzel, sausage, and sauerkraut. Even after many years, many Czech families, including mine, still eat these foods.
Many years of the government treating Czech people like second-class citizens, this led to some people not trusting the government. During 2020 and COVID, many Czech people were anti-vax because of how many years they were under other governments' rules that they couldn't trust. I think this led to them not being able to trust their current government.